In the heart of the small town of Cold Hollow, nestled between ancient oak trees and crumbling cobblestones, stood the wishing well. It had been there for centuries, older than the town itself, a relic of unknown origins. The stone was blackened with age, its surface slick as if forever damp. The water within was said to be bottomless, a yawning abyss that swallowed coins and dreams alike. The townspeople spoke of it in hushed whispers, their voices trembling with reverence and fear. They told stories of fortunes granted, of wishes answered in ways unexpected and cruel. No one could remember who had first discovered the well, or who had carved the words upon its rim. One wish, one price. Children dared one another to toss in pennies, to whisper their desires into the abyss. Sometimes those wishes came true. The boy who longed for his father's return found the man stumbling back into town, his eyes hollow, his mouth silent on where he had been for 20 years. The woman who begged for her sickly daughter to be cured woke to find the child standing over her in the dead of night, pale and cold, her fever gone but her gaze wrong. Then there were those who disappeared. When Eleanor Gray, the baker's wife, wished for her debts to vanish, she awoke to find her husband missing, the bakery deed suddenly in her name. When young Daniel Weaver wished to be strong enough to protect his mother from his violent father, the old man was found dangling from a noose in the barn, Daniel's small hands raw and rope-burned. The town turned a blind eye. The well was a necessary evil, a dark gift that none could refuse, until one night when the mayor's son, Henry, made his wish. Henry was 17, spoiled and cruel, accustomed to getting what he wanted. He stood before the well beneath a blood-red moon and whispered his desire, "I wish for everyone in this town to love me." The coin sank into the depths, swallowed with a ripple that should not have been possible in still water. Silence followed. Then the town changed. It began with his mother, who clung to him with an unnatural desperation, her fingers digging into his skin hard enough to bruise. His father abandoned his duties, watching Henry with a gaze that shone with unnatural devotion. The townspeople began to follow him, their admiration growing into obsession. They pressed against him in the streets, hands reaching, lips murmuring prayers in his name. He could not escape them. Even when he locked his doors, they scratched at the wood, whispered through the cracks. Then came the hunger. Their love became an insatiable need. They begged to touch him, to taste him. He awoke one night to find his mother gnawing at his fingertips, weeping with joy as she swallowed his flesh. His father cradled his severed ear, sobbing as though holding a sacred relic. The townspeople descended upon him, their hands clawing, their teeth snapping, their love a consuming fire. Henry fled to the well, screaming, begging to take it back, but the water remained silent, reflecting only the face of something that had never been human. The thing in the well, the thing that granted wishes, smiled with teeth made of shadow and despair. By dawn, Henry was gone, and the townspeople returned to their lives as if he had never existed, and the well waited in silence, black and patient, waiting for the next wish.